Hello everyone. The fifth episode video is a bit more sensitive because we're getting into its more serious parts. We want to set up the place for the bands and the spot for the display with the buttons. It's getting a bit more delicate now. We're really getting into the main sections now. The framework is done now. From now on, starting with episode 5, the sections are both main and sensitive. Let's go see what happens. Let's go.
In the previous episode, we fixed this part, which we said was for the buttons, the digital display, and the bands. We fixed those. We also glued them. It turned out much sturdier and cleaner in the end. In this episode, we want to fix the buttons. Actually, I've already fixed the buttons here. One of them even popped out. It's a 7-button thing. I made 7 buttons. We're going to make space for the bands. A band on this side and a band on that side. And the digital display goes here. There are also some fine details in these parts. In these 3 sections, you'll notice there are some very fine and subtle details that help to make the piano look even nicer. After that, we carefully glue these pieces on. These buttons are like this too. Let me show you exactly how it is. They're actually hollow inside like this, and honestly, their size really doesn't matter all that much. For example, it must all be the same size. One can be smaller, one can be bigger. That part isn't very important. Let me check if the glue is hot. Yes, it's hot. If you want to make something like this, try to space out the buttons for better usability. I didn't want to use too many buttons so it wouldn't get too crowded, but try to distribute the buttons evenly. That is, put some on this side and some on that side. Don't put them all on one side, because it'll look crowded and won't resemble the piano decoration anymore. But of course, if your taste is to have all the buttons on one side, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with putting them all on one side. Let me explain this part. This part is the digital display. This section is about 10 to 12 centimeters. This part of the digital display is about the width of a handspan, about the size of a palm. Start from this palm-sized area to this side and that side. Stick the buttons on. Don't place them in this area, otherwise you'll mess up your arrangement. And the digital display, instead of being centered, might end up over here, for example. It shouldn't be like that, so it doesn't completely mess up the system. Well, I'll put these buttons down. Then I'll just stick them on. Okay, let's stick one of them right here. We'll put a button here. You don't need to press too hard because they're really weak and flimsy. You press the button really hard and it went in. Your finger will go right into the button and then you won't have a button anymore. It'll just be another hole. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Don't mess with these too much. Then I got some paper. This isn't cardboard, it's paper on top.
Even if a little pressure is applied to its paper, your finger immediately goes into the button. That's when it happens. Your work gets ruined. For example, we stick this here, honestly, it's a matter of taste. You can put it here, you can put it there, you can even put it on top. What's wrong with that? It definitely doesn't have to be arranged neatly. It's something handmade and based on personal taste. Just make sure you don't go into the digital screen area. Try to place things around it, so your work turns out cleaner. For example, I'll put one of them here too. By the way, let me say this. When this piano is finished, it's not going to stay like this. The color it has right now is just the color of the cardboard itself. It's definitely not going to stay like this. It will be painted. All these buttons, the speakers, everything will have different colors. For example, the color of these buttons, this one will be blue, for example, this one will be red, this one will be green. So it's not going to stay like this. Once it's painted, it'll look much prettier and better. And this one I'll stick here according to my own taste. Okay, now I have 3 buttons. Left 3 buttons for me. I'll put these 3 buttons on this side as well. Let me just glue this one too. This is what we're sticking here, for example. I'll put this one here as well. There's just some extra glue here. I'll put this one there too. I already talked about the main part, the essential and most important part of this piano in 1 or 2 previous sections. Actually, I mentioned it 3 sections ago. It's the keys section. It's honestly a surprise. It's that thing that what you imagine about the piano keys in your mind and what you expect is not like that at all, let me tell you. It's something completely different. If I just want to give you a tiny hint about it, let me put it this way. You play the piano with 2 hands and 10 fingers. This keyboard that I'm building, well, we'll get to it, we'll make it. You actually need to bring in another person and you have to put their hands next to yours and play together because it's just not possible to play it with only 2 hands and 10 fingers. You'd need to bring in 3 or 4 more people to help you play it. I'm telling you, it's completely different. That's about all I can say for now. I can't really tell you more. We have to build it and see how it goes. Alright, we've glued these parts, the buttons, very neatly. You can see that right here is where the band goes. This side as well, this side too. And here is the display screen. Then I mark the spots for the band and the digital screen with a pen, and then I cut it so that later I can fix these, put the band in and install the digital screen. Everything will be set up and working properly. First, let me carefully measure just to be sure and see exactly how much material I actually need to cut here. I want to make sure I get it right. Try not to cut too close to the edge, especially if you're creating or making something delicate like this. It's always safer to leave a little extra space. Don't cut from right here at all. Leave a gap of about 1 to 2 centimeters. Cut out a square in the middle. This is 13 centimeters now. I'll leave a gap of 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the top and 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the bottom. So it'll be just right around here. It'll be approximately around this size. Let me carefully put this tape over here and then use this ruler to measure it accurately. Which side should I use? We want the bandage to be about this size. We don't need any specific measurement. If I want to tell you its size as well, this one is 10.5 centimeters. We want it in these dimensions. It's not a big deal, you see. Now look, exactly from this side. I haven't held my hand yet. The spacing is just perfect. It's about 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and 2 or 3 millimeters. If it comes over to this side, it will get ruined. Here, the glue will come off and this piece will be completely removed. It will open up. It will all fall apart. Make sure to follow the measurements. This ensures that your part comes out looking completely clean, extremely neat, and perfectly proper, with no residue or mess left behind, giving you a flawless and professional result every single time. The size of this band on this side is done. Let me measure the digital panel and the band on this side. Let's take a quick look and come back. Alright, we've drawn these out. The spot for the speaker, the spot for the digital panel, and the spot for the other speaker. Here, we've also made a small opening. I'm telling you, this piano is truly and completely different from any other. If you've ever seen Rolls-Royce cars, there's a bird ornament that actually pops out at the very front of the hood. It's a bird. I don't know if it's made of brick, shovel, or wood. I don't know what it is. Something comes up. It opens up and comes out. It's a little figure. I don't know. Maybe it's anything. Maybe it's a hell angel. Well, maybe whatever. It doesn't matter. If you've seen those, something like that comes out. Here, there's something like that. But this one is on the outside. It never goes inside at all. I mean, it's always outside. And in a way, you could say it's like a piano logo, for example. If you've seen a piano, sometimes it says Yamaha, or sometimes it says Korg or Yamaha brand. That's how its brand is. The brand is something on the outside. Imagine something about this big sticking out. Now, let me move these to the front. Let me move these 4 pieces. Now you'll see it better because right now I've drawn a line like this. I think it's not very clear on the camera exactly where I've drawn the lines. Let me move these. Let's go and come back again. We've gone back and forth so much, we're tired. Let's go and come back again to see how this turned out. All right, the cutting work is done. We've cut these pieces. You need to put one of these together from here. Let me show these to you. It turned out something like this. This is where the digital display goes. These 2 spots are for the bands, this one and this one. And this is the spot I mentioned that looks like the hood of a Rolls-Royce. In a way, it looks kind of sharp. It's the piano. This cut is finished. This is just a sample, placing the bands, the digital panel with this. And also these need to be cleaned. These bits of cardboard here need to be cleaned up. Around here, you can still see the marks from the cutter on the carton. These need to be cleaned, fixed, and completely finished. All that's left is making the keys, which you'll see in the next parts, and that whole process is different. It's not done on this at all. It's made entirely somewhere else. Then it's installed on this, the keys. Part 5 is completely finished. The bands and my display are also done. So what's left? What's left are the Louvre, which I've been talking about since the first part. The important part of this piano section is the Louvres. The next part is also about the Louvres. Definitely. And definitely come and watch, because honestly, it's a surprise. You'll be amazed. I myself don't even know what to say. I can only tell you that you'll be stunned. Come, be sure to come for the next part. Thanks to all of you. Goodbye.